Okay, hello. Eventually, I'll come up with something cooler to say at the beginning, but I finished the preface and I want to talk about it. The preface is just a few pages long, and to clarify, not all of my books are like free books that I've picked up or anything like that, but this was one. I think it was at like a library. They were like selling off their um, books that they no longer had room for, didn't have demand for, and I think there were a whole bunch of them, and they were really nice. That's why I took one of them, besides just being interested in other people's viewpoints. Anyway, I got a chuckle when I'm just going to say the author instead of she, or I might say Rebekah. So Rebekah references that she felt really weird and not in a cool MTV's Daria sort of way, which I found hilarious. Also, it started to give me more and more of an idea that she's my generation, my age, like millennials and stuff, if she's referencing MTV, because MTV is not going to be a thing after this year, right? That's what I heard. And Daria, who is fantastic. So I knew exactly what she was talking about. I really do enjoy the writing style. It's very personal, it's very conversational, it's very like stream of consciousness, but not muddled. I can understand and follow it and jump back and forth when she makes these really interesting like comparisons and metaphors and things like that. It's not hard to jump back and forth between what she's saying and like what her thoughts are. I was a little turned off. She gave two reasons why she thinks someone might be reading. One is that you're not on the outside but want to understand what it feels like, and the other is that you're on the inside and you do understand what it feels like from your point of view. And my note said, not necessarily. There's a lot of other reasons why somebody might be reading something like that. Originally, I'm reading this book because it was free. So, I mean, that's not the only reason, but that was the reason why I picked the book up. So, I just think it started to show some like black and white thinking that I was not really comfortable with, and I was disappointed to see. But Rebekah did in her writing clarify, and I was like, oh, okay. So, the another quote that I wrote down was the drive to connect and understand, heal, and blossom, which really spoke to me. I guess Rebekah's writing started on Instagram. I have never really been a big Instagram user because I'm old and I don't use it anymore. I cut out a lot of social media at the beginning of this year. So I am not aware of her at all. I know nothing about her. I have nothing going into this book. She talks about 30 something, so I was like, okay, we really are the same age. I'm almost 38. And she wrote, here I am writing this book because my life isn't over. And it's really nice to see how I can relate to that as what many people would consider an able-bodied person, and we'll talk about that later. But I my motto is I can and I will. And so I kind of sense that same thing. Like, you don't fail until you stop trying. Like, there's always time to keep trying or pivot or, things like that. So I found it really interesting that I could relate to something that impactful. Overall, the vibe of the preface, I can tell she's my generation. I love the writing style. There's a meandering to it that I really enjoy. There were a couple parts that showed that black and white thinking, but Rebekah cleared it up at the end. I'm really hoping it's not like a compilation. Knowing that this started on Instagram, I really hope it's not just like a compilation of the Instagram stuff, kind of like Hyperbole and a Half, which I love. And I also didn't start on I think it was Tumblr on that one. But I hope it's not like that. Like, I hope there's more like substance is the word that comes to mind, but not that. I really want to see the layers and the thought processes, and I'm starting to see that even just in the preface, and I really appreciate that kind of writing. So far so good. And as soon as I finish chapter 1, which will probably be today, I will come back and say more.